people in your life need you, not arriving at half, but arriving at full. And not as big as you will be, but as big as you are today. And people are scared of that. Well, what if I do that and I fail? What if I do that and I get rejected? You're rejecting yourself. What could be worse than that? What could be worse than rejecting yourself because of the potential that other people might reject you? What would be worse than ensuring your own personal failure as a result of a fear that you may fail in a future that hasn't arrived yet and is absolutely unguaranteed? Hello and welcome. This is Delaney with Unlock Potential, where we get together with top experts in their field who have simple, profound advice to help you and I live better lives, to be able to be more fit to serve the people around us and answer that question, the question that nags within all of us: how good can I be and how great can I make it for people around me? I'm not trying to be anybody's yoga master teaching them how to stretch and being weird all the time, right? Because I'm just going on in my life and just ask my wife, ask my son, ask anybody around me how imperfectly I do it. What I do is I just invite other people into that life because my life is made richer and I believe I can make other people's life richer. And as a result of being on that journey now for the last almost 20 years of my life, I am the beneficiary of being at an intersection where I get to be present and powerful at the intersection of people and processes. My work, I love how Ray Dalio in his book Principles talks about doing work that matters and having relationships that matter. Man, I'm so fortunate. I sit with so many other leaders, so many incredible coaches, so many other people that I invite into this workspace to help free other people up. It's just simply because I've taught them how to be free, and not free like me, free like them. Not good like me, but great like them. I don't want to be as good as anybody else. I want to be as good as myself, and I help other people do that same thing. I help them do that same thing, and then they get to be a multiplier of that message, the method, and the outcomes for people. That's what's awesome. It's when they start to do it in their own authentic voice with their own authentic strengths. Now we build a community that's like a puzzle where we all fit together. We're not all the same piece. Otherwise we would just stack. But instead we fit together and we're able to cover more bases. We're able to help more people. We're able to get more people free. And that's personally, that's professionally, right? That's a project that I'm doing with my son. That's a relationship that I have with my wife. That's inside of my friendships. I have friends who are always calling me up to the next level. And that's what I am so excited to introduce so many people to as we go on this journey, is some of those people who do that, who have arrived at that in their own authentic voice. And I think by entering into that conversation, what we're going to initiate are more and more people exposing the fact that they have a value that has been undetected. Even by then, they don't even have the awareness of, they feel greatness in them. They just don't know how to get it out. And that's why they have indigestion, right? They think they can't eat spicy food. They just can't bear holding down the good stuff that's in them anymore, right? And it's it's stress. Yeah, I would be stressed too if I had to act that mediocre when I had that kind of greatness inside of me. Right. And that's a conversation. We want to start to get that stuff out, because for most people, it's been dammed up, and what's supposed to be a river has become a reservoir. It's become a little bit murky, all because the tools that have helped you to get here are actually enslaving you from getting to this next spot. Really the promised land of uncovering your strengths and being able to expose other people to those, because the world needs you. The people in your life need you, not arriving at half, but arriving at full. And not as big as you will be, but as big as you are today. And people are scared of that. Well, what if I do that and I fail? What if I do that and I get rejected? You're rejecting yourself. What could be worse than that? What could be worse than rejecting yourself because of the potential that other people might reject you? What would be worse than ensuring your own personal failure as a result of a fear that you may fail in a future that hasn't arrived yet and is absolutely unguaranteed, right? But people settle all the time. And what they don't realize is that what they're settling for, what they're settling for. It's like, man, I've had friends who have died. That's settling. Their chest is settled for the last time. But I see people all the time, including looking back at my own life, in places where I've settled, where I basically stopped living, where my life force has gone out of me because the circumstances became so overwhelming and my tools to handle it were so underwhelming. And I just want to let people know the same thing that I got to learn. That doesn't have to be the way it is. That might be the way it is right now, and there might be good reason for that. It's just that doesn't have to dictate your direction or your future. And that's where I feel like my extraordinary value is my extraordinary value is unlocking other people's extraordinary value, giving them permission to not only find it, but multiply that out into the world, not for some reason of like, I want them to do that. It's because we need them to do that. Like the world is desperately asking you to do it. And it's also screaming to get out. Your superpower is screaming to get out right now. Thank you all for joining our conversations. We're developing this platform for simple, profound tools and techniques that can help you get the best out of your life and, more importantly, unlock potential. You can find me across all social platforms at The Brian Delaney, and online, come visit us at thebriandelaney.com.